very conscious of race. I knew there were people of all colors, but I didn't really care because I saw no real difference between them and I. When I was 5 years old, I told my mom, "I'm not black, I'm brown, Mommy." She laughed and says, "Ashley, you're black." So I strapped my little self to my room, took out my black crayon, and went back to see my mom. "See, Mommy, I'm not black. My skin doesn't look like this." My mom was speechless. And if there's one thing to know about Jamaicans, is that they always have something to say. In Robert Graves Elementary School, I was the only full black kid in my class. It didn't faze me that I was the only one. Nobody really treated me like any different from the other students. But then I came to middle school where I really noticed the difference in people. Not by the color of their skin, but by their attitudes. It was absolutely disgusting. I was constantly confronted about my racial identity. I was called an Oreo because I'm a white girl in a black girl's body. I was told that I act and talk like I'm white. There was people telling me that I don't act or sound black, but I act as if I'm white. How can someone tell me who I am? So I asked them, "What does a black person act or sound like?" They wouldn't answer me, or they would say, "Ghetto." I don't know how to respond to this, so I just try to act like the stereotypical black girl. You know, the type that doesn't use correct enunciation, who's loud, and ghetto. But for a long time, I just put on this false face until one day I really thought about what I was doing. I asked myself, why am I pretending to be someone I'm not? Who cares about what people think of me? I shouldn't have to change my personality or the way I am to please anybody but myself. Coming to high school, I had a whole new perspective on life. Now, when people tell me that I talk or act like, Now, when people tell me that I talk or act white, I simply ask them, what does a black person act or talk like? Why do you feel obligated to tell me how I should act or talk based on my race? I would usually get no response. They would usually just be silent. So I'll just leave it at that. I leave them thinking about the perspective of white and black people. My goal in life is to help people stop putting other people into categories based on their race, and to stop thinking that all black people talk like this or all white people act like this. We all have to change our mentality, and not just a single race, but everyone who has a mentality that a single race is to blame. This is the kind of thinking that caused our country to go to hell. When a black person walks into a predominantly white neighborhood and gets shot or has the cops called on them, or when a white person drives in a predominantly black neighborhood and think that they might get raped or get robbed, it's this kind of thinking. This is the source of police brutality comes from. The same type of thinking took place 70 years ago and caused the Holocaust. I'm not here to lecture you guys, but to make sure you're conscious of the things that we all do and say, because society today is still setting up people of color to fail in life. What does black mean? I never could answer that question, and I still can't. I believe that there is no such thing as acting, talking, or dressing like a race, but there is such thing as expressing how you are as an individual. Don't let people discourage you from being who you are despite your race, religion, or sexuality. Just do you. I'm sorry. People may say that I struggle with my identity, but I say people struggle to see their own stupidity. I am a young female, a young black female, or I like to call myself a beautiful melanin goddess.